So today is the 30th of December. I can't believe it. The year has just flown. We're going into not only a new year, we're going into a new decade. And 2020 sounds like something so exciting just because of the numbers, the idea of 2020 vision and being able to see clearly and seeing ourselves clearly. I'm going to encourage you today to put on your cameras because we haven't seen each other in a while. And I know we're a fairly small group today, but I wanted to get on here, just hop on and really talk to you a little bit about what's going on and what we're expecting for the new year. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my favorite oils for New Year, give you a couple of ideas about blends that you can use. Let's talk a little bit about cleansing because I know that's a big one. Many of you are going into Chinese New Year, and so you're not going to be cleansing just yet. And of course, no one's cleansing today or tomorrow because we still have our New Year's Eve celebrations, and we want to make sure that we're still feeling very festive. Nobody wants to go to our New Year's Eve celebrations with a bottle of water and just be saying, oh, no, sorry, no, I'm not going any further tonight. No champagne for me, nothing. So it's sort of one more day and we're going to celebrate one more day. So turn on your cameras for me because I'm going to want to hear from you later. If you want to, I want to be able to see your faces and really have a little bit of a conversation with you. So hold on one second and I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so I can shrink myself here. Here we go. Okay, so I don't usually have my my face in the screen, but I'm going to have it in there today because I want to really talk to you about what's going on and let's talk about our what plans we have for the new year. So you all know me. We're such a tiny group today, so it's really a good thing. I really appreciate that all of you are here today. I'm always saying thank you to our Presidential Diamond team. These are the people that get on here every week that talk about our amazing products day after day, month after month, year after year. These are your leaders. These are the people that have guided you, the people that signed you up probably, your upline, your maybe even your downline. But these are people that are really important to keeping this community together and keeping it growing and building. So today's about ringing in 2020 and celebrating the new year with oils. I hope you get a lot of very good ideas about what you can do and also things about what about thinking into the next few weeks or the next month or so. What is it that your plans are with essential oils? Okay, today's presentation, as always, is based on the book, Essential Oils Healthcare for Today, a Beginner's Guide. Okay, so new year, new you. A lot of people like to think of their new year celebrations or their new year plans in terms of what it is they're going to be doing. I'm going to be starting this new year. I'm going to be an all new person and what's going to happen to me and how am I going to just blossom and change when that bell chimes at midnight on the new year. And I will tell you, I think it can be done, but I think you have to be deliberate about it. So I've made some big changes this year and I want to share some of them with you. And I want you to maybe come along with me on this journey because I'm really expecting an amazing 2020. And I want you to be here with me as we go into that new year. So I want to help you to support your health goals naturally, but I also want you to help you to support your other goals, whether they're in health or your business or your personal life, your family life. All of those things are important because we are really just one person and everything needs to be integrated. And so, and I think doTERRA can be a vehicle to get you where you want to go. Okay, so these are some of the most popular resolutions. As of 2015, Nielsen took a poll. Nielsen is one of the polling agencies here in the United States, and these were the top 10 resolutions that people had. So stay fit and healthy. Of course, in our business, that's probably the number one as it is here. Lose weight, enjoy life to the fullest, spend less or save more, spend more time with family and friends, get organized, a resolution not to make resolutions, learn something new, travel more, or read more. And I have to say, over the years that I've been doing resolutions and setting goals, I've probably had every single one of these resolutions at least once in my life, if not more, and some I've had every year again and again and again. So one of the most popular ones for me, or one that really resonates with me, is always get organized. And there's actually some funny posts out recently. I recently reorganized my pantry and took before and after photographs, and it got picked up actually by a store here in the United States called Container Store. And because I use their products to reorganize, they want to use it in their part of their ad campaign, which is kind of funny. So have I gotten one area of my house organized? Yes, I did. But is my whole house organized? No. And the same thing is true of my business and all the other things that are going on. But what I'm trying to do now is take a more organic approach and understand that if I'm seeing disorganization in one part of my life, it may actually be a symptom of something else, a symptom of me not feeling totally integrated or me not feeling totally whole. And so what I like to do is really look at some of the things that are showing up. If my weight is not exactly where I want it to be, is it a symptom of just having eaten a little bit too much over the holidays? Might be, but it also might be a symptom of me just not taking good care of myself and not valuing myself or not having positive self-talk. I know sometimes we get into the mirror and we look at ourselves and we'll say something like, why did you do that? Look at what you look like. And that's really not positive. And so we want to try to get to that point where we're looking at some of our resolutions, but we're looking at some of the more deep-seated reasons or the causes, the root causes of what's going on. And that's what's getting us to this point that we want to set a resolution or we want to make a goal for ourselves. And I will challenge you not to make resolutions per se, but to set goals and to set smarter goals. And we've had conversations about this on this here. We're going to talk a lot more about goals come the new year. Today's not the day to talk about goals, but I just want you to start bouncing these ideas around in your head so that as you ring in the new year, as you kiss your family and your friends and you say Happy New Year to everyone that you know and love, that some of these ideas are in there and that literally right after the first, you are ready to go. So what are your New Year's resolutions? And I'm going to encourage you to type something in the chat. I've told you a little bit about mine. Like I said, I've had everyone on that group. And I would say getting and staying healthy is always a really good one. Another one is preparing yourself and your family to really feel integrated, to go into the new year in a positive way. Those are all really big resolutions and worthy ones for you and for your family. Okay, so one of the things that people frequently do in the new year is they'll do a 30-day cleanse. You know that doTERRA has a cleanse and restore system. I'm going to pace you through it a little bit. I'm not going to encourage you to start it now. You probably, especially if you are going to celebrate Chinese New Year, because it is a 30-day program, you want to start it after Chinese New Year, which would mean you would probably be starting it around February 1st. But I'm introducing the idea to you because in January, you're going to need to purchase your products so that you make sure that you have the correct products to be able to do your cleanse and restore. Okay, so if you remember, and I'm just refreshing your memory with a little diagram here, basically what you're doing is you're preparing your body. Not only you're removing toxins, supporting your body, and then making it strong at the end. So we're getting rid of things that are bad, we're building up our body, and then we're keeping it strong at the end. And here's actually a better chart that I think. So for 10 days, days 1 through 10, and you're going to continue for a full 30 days, the Zendocrine capsules, both the black and the white, the Terrazyme, and you are going to take these as a chart that I'm going to show you in a minute, exactly how many capsules and how many days, but this is a good idea. So Zendocrine, Terrazyme for 30 days, and then you're going to add in GX Assist, but only for days 11 through 20, and that's kind of going to be your thing that sort of cleanses you and helps you to feel stronger. And then finally, in day 21, you're going to add in your PB Assist, and you're going to continue that for the last or the 30th day. Okay, when you look at it like this, it looks kind of complicated, but what it's basically doing is it's adding in 2 additional things, which are your lifelong vitality, which are super important, and you want to make sure you're taking that throughout the time of your cleanse. It's also adding in your DDR Prime soft gels that you're going to take one gel with breakfast and one at dinner, which also great for cleansing, great for supporting the body. And finally, your lemon oil. You want to make sure that you're drinking your lemon oil at least 5 times a day, because water and cleansing are like, I don't know, a hand in a glove. You must drink water if you're going to cleanse, because obviously you are kind of breaking up all these toxins, and how are you going to get rid of them if you're not drinking water? You want to make sure you're drinking a lot of water. Okay, the other thing you might consider, and this is something that I have been doing, is just a single detox day. Taking one soft gel in the morning and one at night. Works great, of course, as part of a 30-day program, but you could consider taking this Zendocrine, the Zendocrine in the black bottle, just a couple of times to help you feel a little bit refreshed. I've had a lot of parties this season, and I've been going out and maybe eating or drinking foods that I haven't had before, maybe ever in my life, or things that I don't usually eat on a regular basis. And I've had many mornings where I've woken up and thought, oh my goodness, what did I eat last night? And I'm reaching for my Zendocrine, and I'm reaching for my Digest Zen, and I'm really trying to drink a lot of water with lemon in it, because I feel like it's detoxifying me. I don't feel like it's the time for me to get on a diet yet, or to lose the few pounds that I put on. It's just not the right time of year. I need to wait till after New Year's Eve. I'm not a person who has a big celebration for Chinese New Year. I celebrate with all of you virtually or in spirit, and I'm usually not in Southeast Asia during Chinese New Year, because everyone is traveling and they want to be with their families and they don't want to necessarily be with me. And so I don't usually see you doing the Chinese New Year celebrations, maybe the lead up or right after. But that once New Year's Eve has hit, it's kind of the end for me, and now I'm ready to start my new year, especially as it pertains to my health or my diet or my cleansing. Okay, the other thing you might consider in the new year is a bloom and glow type of restorative process. So bloom and glow can be anything from just working really carefully on your skin. There's one thing that I really want to do is I want to make sure that I'm doing better cleansing of my skin. I have to say I've been blessed with really good skin, just genetically. My mom has amazing skin, but I need to, I think at night, get into the habit of doing a better cleansing routine. I love, as I've said on here a million times, I love makeup. I wear makeup every day, but I really want to make sure that I'm maybe taking off, removing the makeup really thoroughly and effectively, and then cleansing it. And it sounds crazy that someone at my age doesn't have a routine that they do every day. I'm one of these people, I have to say, that tries new things all the time. And yesterday I was actually sitting with my 20-year-old daughter, and she was very diligently kind of wiping off her makeup with a wipe, and she put some essential oils on, and then she put her a serum, and she washed her face with a, and I was watching her and thinking, my gosh, she's so diligent. She's better than I am. But it's also, it's personality. It's time, right? Because she's 20 and she doesn't have the responsibilities that I have as a married woman with grown children, and my mom living here and running a business and so on. But that idea that it is important. And obviously the thing that you look at the most every day is your face. So you want to keep your face looking good and healthy and young and glowy. So consider a bloom and glow type of detox or restoration for yourself. It can be extra moisturizing. You can make sure that you're using moisture every day when you come out, moisturizers every day when you get out of the shower or the bath, really diligently, not just sort of 2 little smacks and just rubbing your hands together, but getting into a routine or a program of helping yourself to feel more beautiful. And I love this diagram or this graphic because it shows sort of water and healthy foods and different things, mindfulness, music, community, love, self-love, anything that's going to help you to feel better and more integrated as a person. So I have a couple of oils that I'm going to be using on Rotate, and I use these all the time, and I know you do too, but I think in the new year they're going to be really important, and I want to just talk to you about them as they pertain to the new year. So number 1 is Easy Air. Breathe, for those of you who are in the United States. I want to make sure that I'm really stopping to take a breath. So I have one of these Apple Watches, which I'm sure many of you have too, and from time to time I have it set that it'll actually say breathe And sometimes I look at it and I say, oh yes, breathe. I have to do that right away. And other times if I look at it, and I'm sorry, this is kind of snarky, and I'll go, oh, shut up. I can't breathe now. And so I want to really get into the habit of breathing on a regular basis. And this is going to be the oil that's going to remind me. I want to use my frankincense more. I use my frankincense under my tongue every morning, as you know, but sometimes I'll think, oh, my frankincense is so expensive. I don't want to use it up. I'm going to really use it very, very diligently and with just very judiciously. And so this year, one of my resolutions is to use my frankincense more. I just got a couple of free bottles because I put in 200 PV orders. And so I have extra frankincense. Let's just say I'm flush on frankincense, and I want to make sure that I'm really using it on a daily basis, adding it into my diffuser, adding it into my facial cleansing routine, really putting it into a capsule on a daily basis, and making sure that I'm keeping it in rotation. It is an amazing oil, and sometimes I tend to forget it, but this year I'm going to really value my frankincense. My other oil that I tend to discount is lemon, and I'll tell you why. I love my citrus oils. I use them like crazy, but there's so many of them now. So I tend to go into a rotation where I'll put my green mandarin and my grapefruit and my tangerine and my wild orange and so on, and poor little lemon. I love poor little lemon. It really has such an amazing smell and taste. I tend to discount lemon because it's one of the originals. It's the OG of oils, if you will. And so lemon oil, I want to bring you back, and I really want to start using you every single day. Now this morning, I don't know if you noticed, but I'm actually using a plastic water bottle. I don't know if you saw that, because I got up a little bit late and I grabbed the first thing that I could find. But when I'm using my glass water bottle, I want to make sure that my lemon oil is in there. The other thing is I just got a brand new water bottle when I was traveling through Hong Kong, and I got a clear glass water bottle. I'm going to put my lemon slices and my mint leaves in there and really make it look nice. So that's my other New Year's resolution, to get my lemon back into rotation and not have it kind of shunted aside in favor of some of the newer or more popular or sexier citrus oils. The other thing that I want to do is I want to use my peppermint. So here's my story with peppermint. Love it. I've never been one of these people who accidentally poked it in my eyes or my ears or whatever, but I feel like sometimes, peppermint, whatever, I don't use it as much probably as I should. And I think that peppermint, for many of us, is kind of an unsung hero. Now, if you are a regular peppermint user, good for you, keep going. Don't ever feel like you should stop. But one of the things that I love about peppermint is it is a driver. So what does that mean? It means that whatever we do, whatever blend we put together, if you layer a drop of peppermint on top, it's going to drive it further into the cells. And so you want to keep peppermint in mind as it being sort of something that's going to push or invigorate or emphasize anything else that you are doing. So get your peppermint into a rotation this year. I know that I'm going to be using it a lot more. And so this is my third resolution, to get my peppermint back into rotation again. Okay, sandalwood. Here's an interesting one. So sandalwood, again, one of the more expensive essential oils. And I find that with my sandalwood, I tend to have a bottle and keep a bottle forever and ever and ever. But especially if you're going to have a bloom and glow routine in the new year, you want to add sandalwood into your rotation. It is absolutely wonderful for the skin. Now, you could add sandalwood directly to your skin. It is very viscous or thick, so it's going to be a little bit hard, more difficult for you to actually spread on your skin. The better suggestion, I think, is to actually add a drop of sandalwood into either fractionated coconut oil or one of our creams and lotions, and kind of ante up, if you will, the power of any of those skin preparations. So for me, sandalwood is going to be on rotation, 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 and I hope to be showing you an empty bottle within the next couple of weeks. And so sandalwood, if you're thinking about good skin or you're thinking about repairing a skin condition that's been troubling you, this is the oil for you. Okay. Balance. Woo! People might be thinking, you may be thinking now, balance? Is she kidding? So I have to tell you, balance is one of those oils that when I think about it, I always say, Oh, Balance, I love you. But Balance gets dropped from my routine all the time. I don't know why, but it just does. Poor little Balance. Again, one of the OG oils, one of the first ones, first blends that doTERRA ever produced. And for me, it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. I think what happens is I love my Balance. I start using it. I run out and then I just don't order another one. And so literally weeks will go by and I have no Balance. And then I'm kind of searching my house, searching my kids' rooms, in all the bathrooms. Where's the Balance? Of course, there's no Balance to be found. So my New Year's resolution is to get my Balance back into rotation and to make sure perhaps that I'm buying 2 bottles at a time. So I always have a backup. Okay. Elevation. Who hasn't used Elevation in a while? We've had our emotional aromatherapy oils, and then we have our emotional touch oils. But Balance and Elevation are 2 of those oils that started in the beginning, really have the power to change our moods, to uplift, to support. I want to make sure that my Elevation is in my diffuser, on the soles of my feet. Perhaps I'm using it as a base for other perfumes. I'm also maybe perhaps dabbing it behind my ears or on my wrists. Woo! I love Elevation, and I hope you do too. It's one of those oils that you don't want to forget, and you want to make sure, even though it's one of the originals and sort of the granddaddies of the essential oils, the lineup for doTERRA, that we make sure that we're keeping it in our rotation. So this year, this is one of my New Year's resolutions. It's also a great one as we map out our New Year goals, because it's vitalizing and uplifting. It's something that you want to include in your routine. Okay, and then last but not least, lavender. And no, I've never forgotten about lavender, and I use it all the time, and my kids use it, and my family uses it. It's one of those oils that is just played on repeat. But if you're not a person who uses lavender on a regular basis, I'm going to encourage you to really bring it back into your routine. So your peppermint, your lavender, your frankincense, get back into your original family essentials box and use some of those original oils. I love all of the others, and I know you do too, but sometimes it's wonderful to just get back to basics, release stress, make resolutions, to have just more energy and more thoughtfulness, more mindfulness, and lavender is the one that's going to help you to do it. We know all about its calming, relaxing, soothing properties, but just bring your lavender back into rotation if for whatever reason it's kind of slipped away. Actually, many of you probably got extra lavender because we had a BOGO that included lavender in November. So you've got extra lavender around, begin to use it, bring it back into rotation. Okay, you can follow on LinkedIn or YouTube or Instagram or Facebook, of course. And then I'm going to encourage you to click down below to subscribe. If you are not already subscribing on YouTube, these videos are added weekly to YouTube, and they give you kind of an overview of what goes on in the essential oil world on our team. Okay, so let me give you a few tips for your New Year's Eve party. So if you're hosting a New Year's Eve party for this year, I want you to consider a couple of things. So you want to, of course, set up some diffusers throughout your home in your area where guests are going to be located. And then not only for their health benefits, but for setting the mood of the party. So depending on how big your space is where you're going to have your party, you want to consider maybe putting a couple of different ones. So you might have one in your bathroom and one perhaps in your kitchen to encourage people to eat and to feel merry and jolly. And then you may want to have an area for dancing. And so you want people to really feel festive, but not get crazy and break everything in your house, of course. And so consider setting up different types of diffusers. If you have a signature blend or you're developing one right now, one of the things you want to consider is something that's a unique mixture that you really love. Now you can Google online. I have a couple at the end that I'm going to show you, but have a signature blend so that when people come into your house, they say, it smells like Elena, or it smells like any one of you on this team. It smells like Suanby. And so you want to make sure that you have that signature blend, that people begin to associate you and your home with that particular blend. The other thing you might want to consider is sort of a welcome home blend, right? People are coming back. You want to welcome them. You want to help them feel welcomed into your home. This could also work for Chinese New Year. So it could be a sophisticated aroma, something for a winter party so that people feel, this is where I want to be. Something that's jubilation. You could add in your elevation, of course. And then finally, celebration. So that idea that you're having different sorts of blends depending on perhaps the group of people that you're hosting. I'm assuming that you're having one party, but maybe you're having multiple parties or you're having different groups, and you're going to continue to host groups between now and Chinese New Year. So each time you have a different group, you may want to have a different blend to set a different mood. Are you having children at your party? Maybe you want to have something a little bit more calming or something more fruity smelling. Maybe you're having a lot of your sophisticated, swanky friends, and so you want to make sure that you have something that has maybe patchouli in it. It smells a little bit more rich. So think about how you can develop your own blends. We're going to be talking a lot more about creating blends in the new year, but these are just some ideas, not specifics. I'm going to give you specifics in a minute of why you may want to create a blend for different support in your home. So here's two that I'm going to give you. One is a great New Year's blend with my favorite oil, as you know, bergamot, and then frankincense and your elevation, which I just talked about. So bringing back into rotation your frankincense, your elevation, and then giving a burst of lively citrus. This is a really nice one. It reminds me kind of like Iconic, but like a little bit different. Iconic is the one that I was sharing with you early in the year. That's frankincense and pink pepper and bergamot, but this is really a good one. And I want to wish you all, obviously, a happy new year. Whether you're going out, whether you're staying in, whether you're going to be with family or friends, or maybe you're going to sit at home and read a book, it's all fine with me. I'm actually going to be hosting another party here at home. If you're anywhere nearby, I'd love it. It's going to be a lot of, I have to tell you, it's going to be a lot of teenagers, but and college students. But if you're anywhere nearby, I'd love to see you. Just text me and come on over, because we're going to be here for New Year's Eve. So have a wonderful, happy New Year. A blessed new year, a safe new year, and I'll be seeing you all back here in I guess our next big show is January 6th, which was just crazy that it's going by so fast. Remember, you are amazing. And I say this to you every week, and I don't want you to ever feel like it's become a platitude or just something that I say at the end of my talks every week. I'm so very proud that I get to talk to you every week and to look into your eyes. I love it when you turn on your cameras. I think I'm going to really make an initiative and do some rewards this year if you have your cameras on, because I want to make sure that I see you and I can look into your eyes. I also think it builds community for us when we can see each other and we know who's on. And I know sometimes you can't, and sometimes you're just listening in because you're driving, and I totally get it. Or you have a sick kid, or you can't do it. But I just want you to know that I'm always thinking about you. And I actually turned on my own camera today and kept it on in the corner so that you know that I'm serious about this for the new year. So remember, my dear friends, that you really are an amazing group. And last but not least, thank you so much for being here, because I know you took time out of your day away from your family and at night, and maybe you're thinking, is she getting on today? What's happening? It's the end of the year. Well, I'm here. Even my husband said to me, wait, you're doing a Zoom call today? And I said, I am. I didn't cancel it. It's not officially the holiday. Tomorrow's New Year's Eve. So I think hopefully I'm glad that you are all in here, and I'm so proud to know you. Okay, so I'm going to stop the share in about a minute. Oops, here we go. Okay, and let's do a big, oh, good, you're starting to turn on your camera. So proud of you. Okay, so let me get into the chat, because I want to see resolutions. Okay, anybody have a resolution? Swamby says, stay fit and healthy. Yes, I'm on it. Being busy and illness, distraction. Oh, okay, to be present only. Thank you, Naomi. That's a very good one. To be more focused, Lynette says. Okay, anyone else? New Year's resolutions or goals? Type them in the chat. So as I said before, resolutions are one of those things that I'm not so crazy about. I'm more crazy about goals. I think if you start with a resolution and then you go on and then you eventually make it up to be a goal, it can be something that becomes very powerful, because then you're actually, feels like bowling pins, right? That you're actually setting up your pins and then you're knocking them down. So one of the things I talked to you about earlier last year, or even late last year, I've been talking about it all year, is that I use something called a full focus planner. And for me, it's a way for me to set goals and to keep setting goals and to stay on board. And what I do is I set my annual goals, and then I break those annual goals down with goal detail. And right after the new year, we're going to be talking about how we set goals, why smarter goals are important. If you were in Singapore in November when I was there, when I was there in August, I actually did a live presentation of this, and there were a lot of people who had many, many questions, and we worked in teams and we set up kind of a system of working through it. This is something that I'm going to be working with all of you over the next few months, because I think it's super important. We try on a regular basis to set goals, but I find that if we don't write them down and spell out what the next steps are, we're less likely to actually reach our goals. And I want to help each and every one of you to reach your goals, because it really is a great thing. The other thing that I want to start with every week is a win. So for me this week, a win, and I'm going to have you type it in the chat group once I finish. For me, a win was being able to spend time with my family and my friends and not to feel stressed out. This is one of the first years, my friends, that I actually don't feel stressed out around the holidays. And that for me is a big win. I kind of did whatever I could do and then said, you know what, I am kind of done and I'm not doing any more. And my kids were asking me, hey, we're not going to do this or we're not going to do that. But I think sometimes during the holidays, you just have to let stuff go. My house is decorated. My tree is up. Like I said, I've been able to attend some parties, host some parties. I've had some things going on. And so I felt like this week has been a big one. And this year, for the first time, as I said, going into the holidays and going through the holidays, not feeling stressed out. That's a really big one. So Elaine says her win was sleeping 8 hours every day for a week. That's a big win. Okay, so I'm going to challenge you now. And I think I'm going to award from the chat. What are your wins? Give me a win for this week. And just type it in the chat for me. I'm going to give you a few minutes. And while I'm asking for wins, I'm actually going to stop the share, stop the recording, because I'm sure everybody else on Facebook on YouTube doesn't want to hear about all our wins. But I want to just tell you briefly, have a wonderful new year. And I'm going to be picking the prizes right after the recording stops.